Nearly a quarter of Americans between the ages of 45 and 65 say they are dissatisfied with their sex lives. That's according to a study released today by the Associated Press and LifeGoesStrong.com. Sex therapist Dr. Ruth Westheimer is a blogger for that Baby Boomer website, and she joins us now with some advice for every couple. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Are you surprised at all by this statistic that there are so many people, especially these baby boomers and a little bit younger, that are unsatisfied with their sex lives?
Well, first of all, you have to be very careful, Harry.
Right.
Because we don't really know how people answer those questions.
Sure.
But let's suppose now that it gives us an indication for you and me to talk about it.
It's a good opportunity.
True that you television people,
yes,
especially you, Harry,
right,
but everybody else are responsible a little bit for the problems in this country. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Older people, baby boomers,
right,
should make sure that in the morning,
right,
watch out, they don't watch television.
No.
They should go back into bed. Oh. Because for older people, important testosterone level is highest. Oh. The woman has rested. Important, tape your show. Oh. But go back into bed and do the things that I usually talk about.
Okay. So maybe have a cup of coffee first?
Yes, I can have a cup of coffee and a little croissant, but very little.
And then have sex?
Yes. Okay. You said the word sex nicely. Yes. I like that, with a smile.
Or made love.
Either way. Either way. Yeah. Now, what is important is that surveys like this give us an opportunity to talk about it.
Yes.
And we do know that we have scientifically validated data
right,
about baby boomers, about older people. The word dissatisfied is not exactly the right word. I would rather say, if Harry, you or anybody here has a partner, be happy. Make sure that you use every moment for that activity that I talk about.
Well, and one of the other things, we're not even going to talk about the science of it, but you hear it all the time, that men want to have sex, especially at least in this survey. I'm saying we're not having as much sex as we would like to have.
A little bit, Harry, look at that face on you. A little bit, that's just because we taught you to want to have more.
You think that's
not true? No. Not true.
Right.
Women do want to have as much good sexual satisfaction as men.
Here's one of the other issues, though, because as we get older, sometimes as we look in the mirror, we say, well, we're just not as desirable as we might have been 10 or 20 or 30 years ago.
That's dangerous. Don't you do that.
I won't.
When you get home, not here in the studio, when you get home, Harry, undress. Look in the mirror. Look how handsome you look. Don't concentrate on some of those aspects that you don't like. For women, don't concentrate on a little bit of a belly, so what? Concentrate on the smile. Concentrate, put some nice fantasies into your mind, and concentrate and say, how fortunate. I have a partner. I'm going to do that activity right now.
But physically, we change. Men have, a lot of these men said they have functional problems. Sometimes women have also physical restrictions in their ability to make love or not. One of the things you have always said is you've got to be open. You've got to continue to learn, right?
But learn not in bed. Have that conversation by watching a little bit of TV, by watching something that people talk on the internet, and say, look, let's see if we can make it better. For example, I believe that a woman has to take the responsibility for her own sexual satisfaction. She has to say to herself, there is something out there that starts with an O. It's a morning show, so I won't say it. Maybe you can say it.
Orgasm.
All right, you can say it. You didn't even blush.
No.
But she has to take that responsibility. And we do know from surveys that women do take that responsibility. We have less women who don't have that orgasms. But we have to say, older people, especially the baby boomers, they grew up with this idea everything has to be like Hollywood. Everything has to be, you can't be 4'7". You can't be somebody without hair. Not so. You can have the best sexual satisfaction if you are sexually literate, if you know what you're doing, and if you have, most importantly, good communication.
Very good.
Most important.
Dr. Ruth, as always, a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Turn off the TV now.